wind. Needless to say, it is flipping cold. It says it's 21 degrees right now, or 24 degrees. Feels like 12. It's because this wind is ripping. I would have to say right now, we probably have, it's saying 12 miles consistent, 26-mile-an-hour gusts. So let's put it like this. Here in Ohio, there's literally nothing to block the wind. Big ridges, nothing at all. So you're getting the full effects of everything. So I've got my wind on my back to the wind and got my jacket just draped over me to kind of act as a barrier. But it's unfortunate that all the part that I'm hunting, the movement I believe will be coming on this backside of this field over here through this little patch of woods that's behind me. But they may come out in this field too. I don't know. As of right now, we're just kind of shooting for the stars, hoping that something comes together. So it's been a rough couple of days, but I'm still optimistic. So I'm going to sit here and try to stay warm. Hopefully, here soon when the camera cuts back on, it's because we're smoking a big buck. So let's get it. As I sit here, and this wind is just absolutely whistling through here. I mean, it's humming. And you know, it's been a grind these past couple of days. And you know, that that feeling tries to set in to where like you're just like, man, is it going to happen? Can the impossible happen? And like you can sit here and you could become very ungrateful. But I remember being a 16-year-old kid, and I just sat here and started thinking about it while I was praying and talking to the Lord. And I remember being a 16-year-old kid picking up North American Whitetail magazines and Deer Hunter magazines, and I would read articles about Ohio. And I would just daydream, and I would get so worked up because I'd see these giants and that was being killed up here. And you know what it's like as a when you're younger, that imagination. And I just remember being so overcome by the thought of being like, man, I'd love to go hunting there one day. But as I've mentioned in times prior, that you know we wasn't very wealthy growing up, so I got to hunt with what I got to hunt, which was property in the backyard, and so. But I've sat here and I've thought to myself like, you can become so ungrateful for moments like this to where it's a grind and it's so tough and it's cold and it's not super ideal on what you would want. But often more times than not, we take things for granted and forget about the desire that cultivated our love for this. Mine is hunting, the outdoors, really. And as I sit here and I just think about, you know, when I was a kid, I didn't think of it like this. I didn't think that, like, oh, I'm going to sit up there and 26-mile-an-hour high wind gusts at 12 degrees and it's going to be awesome. No, I sit there probably daydreaming that a giant 170, 200-inch whitetail comes stepping out in front of me with the picture perfect scene and everything. And I'd get a crack on it and I'd drop that thing right where it stands and all this and that. But to be able to be grateful even in the midst of this adversity is awesome. You know, I sat there and I thought a second ago, this is the thought that came to my head. I could sit here and be ungrateful, or I could be back home working my old career 10 hours a day, sitting in a business office and daydreaming about being out here, chomping at the bits to be out here. But fortunately enough, God has blessed my life and has put his hand over mine and my wife's lives to accommodate my ability to be able to come out here and to pursue a career and a dream that I love, that I've always wanted since I was a teenager. And I'm just so thankful. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to even come out here and to be able to experience and endure the elements. Because I've killed big deer in temperatures and winds just like this. But that's just a little bit of, I guess you could say, inspiration for you. That's me getting all philosophical. So, but no, for real, I'm just super thankful for the opportunity to be able to be here. And if we get it done, we get it done. If not, we learned a lot. You know, I'll be coming back before the end of the year, hopefully, and definitely by the first of the year. Uh, so, but we're gonna hang in here and see if we can't get a buck on the ground. So, hopefully, the next time this camera turns on, I'm not a frozen popsicle. So, check you in a minute. We have made it back to the property, and it's still cold as crap. And so we're trying to stay confident to be able to get back here and get this done. I'm going to push down here into this really thick stuff and with this wind and just try to push around in an area that I haven't pushed into yet. So we're just going to kind of keep grinding and see if we can get this thing rocking. So hopefully tonight's the night. Still got really strong wind gusts, 36 miles an hour is the high gust. And so we're going to get to it, and I'll see you when we get set up. All right, guys. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm set up. I'm sitting on the ground. I'm right in the back of a cut corn field, looks like. And I've got a trail working right here next to me, going into the fence line here. And then I got this massive thicket right here in front of me. I mean, it's humongous, and it runs from one side of the property all the way to the back side of the property. And as I was walking up it earlier, I was walking the edge and I was glassing in there. I was seeing a bunch of big, I mean, big fresh rubs that had been shredded. I personally believe within the last week because they still had that really strong coloration to them and everything, and shavings and everything still laying around. But we got this really strong, brisk southwest wind still right now, and it's blowing right up through this bottom way down here up onto the top of where I'm at now. I've been hunting the bottom the last couple of days, but I decided to stay more towards the front of the property this time. I walked over to the edge of this bean field a cut cornfield a second ago, and I followed a bunch of big tracks going in there, and I'm talking a couple big buck tracks. And right as soon as I hit the edge line right there was about 5 big historic rubs with a big trail going right in there that's being used right now. But those rubs obviously are historic buck signs. So if a buck's traveling anywhere in this area with this wind coming up through here trying to scent check this big thick stuff, then I will be able to catch them in the crossway. Now, if there's something bedded in there, which I personally think that there is, because the way that this wind's blowing up, it would want to be bedded in that a little bit into the inner part of that cover with its eyes moving this way or looking this way, and they would want to be able to come out or to be able to see anything coming out and coming in. So the way this cornfield is, it drops off the back right here. It does a big mound and drops off to the back and kind of just does a little drainage right into this thick stuff. And it looks like a perfect setup for this wind and for how feeding would be with this situation. The tracks and everything right here are a dead giveaway. So we're just shooting for the stars this evening, switching it up and just seeing what we can get done, and just going to try to see what we can do. And hopefully, I'm hoping and praying that we can get it done today, man. It would be awesome. So today's the last evening hunt, and then we have a hunt for tomorrow morning, which is going to be blistering cold. But it's been blistering cold this whole week. But I've got all this really thick cover right here in front of me and around me right here that's kind of acting as a wall. So it's keeping a lot of this wind off of me, which I am appreciating right now. That's the main reason why I came up here, because I wanted to get out of that high wind. I did not want to deal with it anymore. So I'm going to shut up, sit here for a little while, and see if this evening don't pay off. So. Alrighty guys, it's 7:40 and it is 16 degrees. Feels like -2. It's cold. I can hear a turkey yelping in the backside of this field. But I just had James text me a second ago, and he said he had a coyote come through at about 5 yards in front of him through the field. So, as you can see, it's blowing really hard right now. It's rocking this tree back and forth. But hopefully the coyote and that turkey yelping, hopefully it's a good indicator that stuff's going to start moving around since it's so cold. So we will see. But we're going to hang out here, try to stay warm, and hopefully we can get a deer. So as you guys just seen, those four doe rode through in the back side of that field over there at about 300 yards. It came through flagging their tail. I thought they was being followed by a buck, but I never seen nothing. All I can say is it's cold whenever you're breathing on your face mask and you pull it down, and the moisture that is built up from your breath on the top of your face mask turns into ice crystals at the top, and you pull them off. That is cold. But consider me crazy, but I love it. I'm enjoying myself. That was the first deer action I've seen all week. other than the first day. So, if that's all I see, I'm thankful, because at least I now have the opportunity to say that I have seen deer from the stand in Ohio. So, my body keeps shuddering. It's so cold. But we're going to hang here for a little bit more, and hopefully these deer start moving around in here and getting on their feet. We got an absolutely breathtaking sunrise over here. But I'm going to shut up and get warm. As you just seen, I rattled in those 2 coyotes and everything. So it's 9:30. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the set down at 10 because we got to get back home this afternoon. Got some stuff to finish up and do there today before it gets dark. So if something don't come in the next 30 minutes, then salute Ohio, because you won and I didn't, but I still had a great time. I've had a phenomenal time, to be at that. So if something don't come in just a few, then we will pull her down and head on home. Alrighty guys, I made it back to the truck, got everything loaded up, and that is a wrap on Ohio. Definitely learned a lot. It was really a challenge. This weather has been grueling. It has been nothing short of an absolute grind this past week. Me and James have hunted hard, hunted long hours, and have put in the time to try to get it to come together. As you've seen this morning, I had those 4 does and them 2 coyotes. That's all I've had. And it's just been a tough week. And so after all that, I appreciate everybody that stuck along with us this far. I hate that we wasn't able to get some real strong deer action on cam and everything like that, but that's part of it, man. If it was easy, they'd call it killing, but it ain't. That's deer hunting for you. So, and anybody that knows anything about the deer woods understands the grind, especially when it comes to new property and stuff. So we're going to go ahead and make our way back to Kentucky. We got a lot coming up this next week. We have Kentucky's Muzzleloader Week coming up, and the next, I think it's next weekend. And then I have Kendra, my wife, her deer. She has not filled her buck tag yet, so we're going to try to get that in on cam. I have my archery quota tag in Kentucky that I still have to fill, and I'll be trying to do that sometime in the middle of this month, maybe even in towards the end of the month. It just depends on my time frame that I'll be able to get freed up. And but I appreciate you guys. Thank you for sticking with it. Always like, follow, and subscribe to our socials. And as always, scout hard, hunt easy.